Nothing is early. Whatever is best for any surgeon to learn any new technique, you can do that at any age. There is no age bar for that also. It's all your attitude and mental status. That's very, very important. So what is an innovation? So innovation is like giving birth to a child. So it's a newer procedure which has been derived by that person. So it's an innovation. But I'm not going to talk about any innovations. I'm going to talk about the adoption. So adoption is that there is somebody who has generated a technique, but then we have to adopt that technique in our practice. So that is an adoption. That's what I'm going to talk about. And whenever we adopt any technique to our environment, our skill sets, and in our infrastructure, you have to consider, you have to have a balance between the adoption of a technique and the patient's safety. So it is different for everyone. So how early is a very relative term according to me. Now having said that, there are certain advantages and disadvantages of the early adopters. The early bird catches a worm, and so you will stand out from all the other crowd as a separate person because you are an early adopter. But any early adopter will have lots of struggle, and there are lots of disadvantages, but there are long-term advantages also. So there are advantages as well as thumbs up and thumbs down when you do an early adoption of a technique. So if you see in 2002, I started with endoscopic discectomy, and then I shifted to tubular in 2007 or 8. Then I shifted to full endoscopic in 2016, and then I shifted to UB. Of course, that's in 2024. And this is regarding the decompressions. But if you see for my adoption in interbody fusion techniques, in 1990 it was PLIF that we did. In 2000 we did TLIF. In 2007 I did my first MIS TLIF. In 2016 I did my first OLIF. And in 2023 I did my first KLIF. That's not 20. But if you see the lag period from when it originated, it's around 5 to 7 years that there is a lag period that I adopted that technique. So it's not an early adoption according to me, it's an early adoption for our setup. So adoption of a new technique shows clear benefit to patient and surgeon with better outcomes and easier techniques. So that's the basic funda of how you adopt. And the common criteria on which everyone adopts is the same criteria of all MIS procedures now. Nothing new in it, but it's an easier and safer technique, and that's very important if you want to adopt these techniques. The other advantage is its market and reputational advantage, and that's where the whole big advantage comes. If you see all these Amazon and Kellogg's and Toyota and Coca-Cola, they were the early adopters of that particular in their field, and that's why they are getting this market value or branding, which is there that they have, and it's going to be for a long time. So when you adopt an early technique, everyone will remember you when in trouble to bail out. And that's a big advantage if you have adopted that technique early. You will stand out in a unique position than the rest in the field. And if you go to the patients will search for that technique and come back to you. And if you have that technique early, you have a large loyal patients of that particular technique, which will have a long-lasting advantage, and the patients will find out with that technique to you. So these are the advantages. The other thing is that you become an advisor, innovator, developers to the companies that will come to you, and there's a brand recognition by supportive companies. So that's another advantage if you have an early adopter of a technique. Having said that, there are certain disadvantages. There is lots of demotivation. There is struggle to make everyone aware of it. There is struggle to prove yourself every time about the better results. There are a lot of humiliations that you hear when you start a new technique. Any bad results are trumpeted actually. And initially all difficult cases are referred to prove you. So whenever you are adopting a new technique, you play like a test match, not like a T20. You have to select that cases very, very nicely. And the big disadvantage is that everyone say that I can't do it, but you believe in yourself, you have a conviction, you have a concept about that technique. Then you take all these negatives as your challenge to evolve in a positive way, how you can develop that further if you are convicted that that technique is going to work. I'll just give you examples. Initially met with skepticism, the MIS. This is what, when we started. Early adopters faced a lot of complications. So if you see the tube and full endoscopy from 2002 to 2014, there was a lot of resistance all over, whether it's going to work or not. But after 2014, it is a boom. It's an explosion. And at present, almost it has replaced the traditional surgery. And this is what we have seen in our whole growth of the spine in India. There are risks of premature adoptions. There is a steep learning curve, increased complications, inconsistent patient outcomes, increased cost, and unproven benefit, with some ethical and medical legal issues also. These are the disadvantages of the premature adoptions. I adopted the early car, the Reva. That was the first electric car that I had. I bought it in 2004. It was too costly, it was less range, service was difficult, the engineers had to come to my place from Bangalore. No resale value, I had to give it in scrap. But that was a concept that I bought in 2004. And now you can see that everyone is with electric cars now. So my first MIS TLIF in 2007, I had no instrumentation at all. I just with a conventional instruments. That is what, it's a 3 years follow-up of the same patient. You can see it's a all harms cage which are there. In 2010, I did my first DLIF. We did not have any instrumentation at that time, but still I did it with our conventional instrument. So what is too early? The technique lacks standardized technique, structured instrumentation, evidence is less, structured training pathways are not there, there are no regulatory approvals. So that is too early. So that is too early. These are the papers I'm going to skip. But high volume centers are ready for innovations and early adoptions. High risk taking capabilities surgeons will adopt the innovations. The conference presentations and scientific literature influence the most to the early adopters. So that was a study by an AO group. So best practices for safe adoption is follow evidence-based pathways, read literature thoroughly, train thoroughly before the first case, start with the low-risk patients, minutely observe and evaluate each and every case, modify the next case accordingly, and track your each case so that you have a good follow-up and out for the outcomes. So when it is too early, no solid evidence, no training framework, surgeon skills, attitude, and infrastructure, whatever you have to consider according to that. There is a big cost benefit. Initial adopters will have a lot of cost to develop that procedure. There is the patient acceptance will be less, steep learning curve, and of course. So in conclusion, innovation must not outpace the safety. Safe and stage adoption is the key. Be evidence driven, not first in the market. You see that others are doing it, but then you can adopt according to your skill set, your infrastructure. And patient care should guide the timing of adoption. Thank you very much.